Hey guys, so I just went and picked up my planner that I'm going to use for next year, and I have a bunch of stickers that I need to go ahead and lay down in it, so I thought that I would record it and kind of show you how I set my planner up. But this is just a classic happy planner. So this is what the cover of this one looks like. It says 2026, this year looks bright. I use a happy planner every year, so I have a ton of these, so I can switch this out if I want to, but for now, I think this is fine. But let's see, I'm not going to actually do any planning, but I'm going to go ahead and lay down my stickers for all of January. So these are just front pages, and then you have your monthly here, and then I'm going to take the January pages out, and these are easy just to take in and out of these rings. And then even if you have another planner, like I have some that have red rings, and then I have a few that have gold, so you can switch your rings out along with your covers. But I'm going to set the planner aside, and then I use a few different shops on Etsy, but I just print out like a weekly printable stickers. This, for all of January, I used PansyPrints shop, and they were doing a Black Friday sale. That's when I went ahead and purchased all of mine, so I'm not sure if they're still on sale, but I think all of these were maybe 50% off and ended up costing me about $2 for each week. So I went ahead and picked this one out for the first week, since it does have Happy New Year. And then you get a ton of stickers with each of the weeks. I'm gonna hold off on putting down a lot of these because once I start making my plans, I'll utilize more of these. Like I said, I'm not going to be writing anything in here. I just want to get everything laid out so that when I have an appointment or something comes up, I have somewhere to write it down. So I have those. Now, on all of these sets, I do know that like this page that'll have your little rectangles down here, the lines go over each other instead of kind of having that little gap in between. So some of these will kind of have a rough edge. We can cut that down if it ends up bothering me. But so this is what we're going to use. And then I have a few stickers, like I do use these every week. These are ones that I've just cut myself, and I usually put this on the side, and then I'll put any of the books that I have finished that week. So if I come across something else that isn't from the shop, I'll let you know, but I do kind of make and cut a lot of my stickers. So there is our first page, and then for this shop, usually you just cover up the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we're going to start with the 29th. So you lay that down, and then it'll have the dates in here. And so you just pull them off of there. This might have been easier if I had grabbed some tweezers, but didn't grab any, so we'll be fine. Okay. And we'll get this for the other side. I do know in that shop that you can get, this is the Happy Planner, there's also a set for an Erin Condren. So I'm not sure if there's other options in there. but I used to use an Erin Condren, and that's when I started using that shop. I do prefer being able to kind of pull your pages in and out, and then I can kind of add things. I do have the punch for the rings, and so if they have like a concert or something at school, I can punch the little invitation and put that in the page of the week. Okay, so there's that. I am going to go ahead and I usually like doing a row of like glitter washi underneath. And I do usually set up most of my pages pretty much the same. So I'll use these to kind of look like a solid strip underneath. Hopefully they're going on somewhat straight. It's hard to keep my head a little further out of this. That is our strip there, and I'm going to go ahead and do the Happy New Year sticker since we know that that goes on the first. And that's the only one that really has a place that it has to go. I don't always put a strip on the bottom, but I do think I'm going to do one for this. So I have a feeling that since it's going to be the first week with New Year's Eve and New Year's, that we probably aren't gonna, we won't have the most of like practices and things to write down. Probably a good time to use that space. And then trying to decide, I do usually put one over here that kind of covers where it has the month. The old planner, the one that I used last year, it didn't have a grid here. It had lines, and this is where I put my reading sticker. So I kind of like having the lines, but that'll be fine. And then, like I said, anything that I just finished this week will go here. And then trying to gonna use these heart checklist. Most of my lines will have a heart checklist. They'll all have a full box of a picture. Now, if they don't have the heart checklist, they'll have a few of like the smaller boxes so that I can write multiple things in them. And then I usually just use the glitter washi strips to kind of break everything up. And then I think that there should, I guess this one, I am going to put what we eat each night. So I think I'm going to put our dinner plans across the bottom of all of them. And we'll do this so this can kind of overlap in the middle. And then I am going to use the weekly for this. And I'm going to put that down here, and this is going to be for my steps. Sometimes I'll put it over here at the end of the week, but I think on this one I'm just going to leave it there. And there's usually a page that has your shoes. I try to offset, so like if this one has like this rectangle, this full box one here, then I don't want to put a full box quite beside it. So sometimes I'll try to just figure out a way to get different size boxes right beside each other. And then I'm going to pick a different color of the washi to go in between there. And then we'll use another full box. And then I do have a different, I have some audiobook stickers that I cut out that I use a lot. So it'll have like this currently listening and then the headphones. I don't really have any colors that look good with this, so I'm going to avoid using that one. But I put all the books that I read, but I do usually keep track of which ones I'm listening to. Trying to find the checklist. Can't get any of these down the first time. Put two of these end with our dinner one here. To figure out, because I wanted to do a full box, but then there's one right there. Like I said, I don't really like having them beside each other like that, so I might just use one of these just to pull it down a little bit. I'm going to put a thing of washi in between. Use the silver on this one. And do that one. That one looks way too much like that. So yes, maybe I should put, I think I'm going to put that across the very bottom. So let's go ahead and get our washi here, just since we don't have any of these on the bottom. And then see if we have, since I have the checklist on both of those, I'm not going to use it on that one. Or I guess here's only a 3 one, so we could put that one down. Then that. And then instead of putting the food one like that, I'm gonna write what we eat as this. This looks like where I told you that piece, like double cuts. Okay. And then what you can do is just double up or triple up, I guess, on the washi. So I'm going to do that here where it has these 3. And so that's what the first page is going to look like. Then we'll come over here. And they have a TV one where you can put your shows. I do know that we're going to watch Stranger Things that day, so I could use that, but I think that I might want to use a bigger one. Then we'll do our heart checklist here. dinner. There in the middle again. Trying to see which color washi I haven't used, but I think that's all the colors. So I'm going to go back to the light pink that we put on the top and do that on this row. And then I also want to set up, I'm going to set up my weekend one real quick, so that I can figure out where to put the full block on the Friday page, but the weekend one takes up 2 pages. 2 blocks, sorry. So we're gonna use this one, and trying to think, I think I'm going to use a checklist. No. There used to be, the ones that I used last year, there was like a weekend banner, and I liked putting that across the top, but I don't see a weekend banner on this one at all. So whatever you do, you want to keep them kind of similar if you put the box like in the middle. So maybe I'll just put the box along the bottom, and then we can kind of worry about each day individually. So I'm going to put the washi here. Then we can do our double box here. And then I'm going to stick the washi on top of that. Now I can do each of these days individually. I usually have more to do on Sunday, so I'm going to use a full box here. And just do one of those there. And then we have more of the dark here. And just end it with one of these. do another smaller box, and then go ahead and do my full box that I do. I don't want you to be able to see the white behind the scallop, so I'm going to go ahead and lay down some of this washi. And then maybe now I'll try this one. Just feel like it looks so much like these others. Maybe we'll put this one here. We're using the pink here. And then we'll leave our dinner one right there. You can't see too much of the white. I think I'm going to do another checklist on this one. And try to see if I have more of that pink glitter. There's that. We have a few more. So that's what the week will look like, and that's pretty much what it's going to look like every week. And then, like I said, there will be different things, the smaller things that I will add in kind of once I start putting our plans in and what we're doing. But that's what it looks like. So I'm going to do the rest of the pages, and I'm just going to set it to some music and maybe kind of speed it up a little bit because it will take a while. So now that I have finished these, I am going to put everything back into the planner, and then we can just kind of run through and see. And like I said, I can show you again once everything has happened, once I've written everything in there now. Guess I went too far. Alrighty. Guess I didn't set these down in order. So let's get all this in. Okay. So now here is January. I don't utilize this monthly at all. All I do is the weekly. So first one. And I did things a little different where like I put the steps here in the beginning. I am worried that that's not going to be enough room to put how many books I've read that week. So that's why I wanted to just kind of do just January and kind of see what works and what doesn't. And then I might change some of that. So then I switched to doing the steps over here kind of at the end of the week. And then on this one, I added this in because I thought maybe I could keep track of how much money I make each day or something. So that's the only one that I added that. And then everything is pretty consistent. This is the way I've been planning. So for the most part, I kind of know what works for me. But there is that. And like I said, I will come back once I've added things in and you can kind of see the addition of some of those other stickers, and I'll come back and we can do the February layout together. Thanks for watching.